Hello again, welcome back to the channel. Now I recently made a video about the benefits of cycling on your health and your mental well-being. But one of the other activities that's pretty good for your health and mental well-being is swimming. Now this is another activity that I do participate in, and it's particularly beneficial for over 50s. And they're for many reasons. Obviously the health benefits, as cycling is, you've got the health benefits. With swimming you've also got your mental well-being as well. And now by that I mean, if you've got any problems or you're troubled over certain things, once you go swimming it seems to sort of wash over you, and it does with me anyway. So some of the physical benefits of swimming, one of them being it's very joint friendly, and by that I mean it's very low impact swimming. You're not putting any pressure on like you would do if you were sort of running or jogging or squash, tennis, any of those kind of quite physically demanding sports. With swimming you just go at your own pace. Now the pool I go to an over 50s class, so people of a similar age or older. In fact, some of them are as old as 70 or even 80. And it's obviously good for pretty much all your general health, but particularly your joints, especially if you're suffering from arthritis. It can be really beneficial. Also your cardiovascular health, so it's going to help your blood pump better, because it improves your circulation and makes your heart beat better. So they tell us, and who are we to argue? Well, I'm currently cycling down to the leisure centre, as I say. I'm on the road. It's a little bit windy today. I think maybe I should have went along the canal. It is actually slightly quicker riding on the road, but there's obviously more traffic and more noise. Hopefully it won't affect the audio. Anyway, get back to the benefits of it, swimming. Now I've been going for a number of years, well 2 years actually, just over 2 years. I had a back injury a while ago, and my chiropractor recommended me taking up swimming to strengthen the muscles. Now it wasn't a slip disc, the injury, it was just muscular, but it was quite bad and I was off work for a while with it. And she said to me, once you get your general health back again, the back injury eases off, take up swimming, which I did, and I've carried on with it. Now I do it about twice a week, if I can. Sometimes I do miss the odd one with work commitments, but generally I'll keep it going. Now I'll go on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Today is a Thursday, so I'm going to I haven't booked it yet. This one you don't have to book in advance. I think I might go down the canal. Yeah, so I've kept it up now. I've been going for about 2 years. I was going to go off-road there, but I can't cut through, so I'll have to go further up. Should have really went to the canal, but it's been raining overnight and I thought it might be a bit wet. Anyway, where was we? Yeah, so it's a number of benefits for it, especially if you had a back injury. It strengthens all the muscles, and it definitely has made a big difference with me. It strengthened the muscles up, and I find now at work it's less sore after a day. Now I do quite a physically demanding job, so that's one of the reasons why I took it up. I thought if I want to maintain my sort of work-life balance, then I'm going to have to take up some sort of exercise. Just working, doing a physically demanding job wasn't really enough. Yeah, it wasn't really enough, so I had to take up the swimming and also the cycling, which I'm doing quite regularly now as well. Right, I'm just going to go down by the canal. I think it's going to be easier. Not sure if I can get along here. I think I can. Oh, that's better anyway. It's a little bit quieter. Now this actually part of the path is paved, so it isn't too bad here. A bit overgrown in places, but they've been cutting back the trees by the look of it. Yeah, so luckily when I go to this leisure centre, it's quite near my home, about 3 miles away. There's two ways you can go. You can go on the road, which is slightly quicker, I suppose, but it's a lot noisier, as you could probably hear from the beginning of the journey. That's the pros of it. The cons of it is obviously it's more dangerous, and there's traffic pulling out everywhere, and as I'm trying to talk to a camera, it's probably not the best way of doing it, so I thought we'd go off-road. Now I'm cycling down the canal, the Grand Union Canal it is, that runs from Paddington to Slough. That is the branch I'm using. But it's very pleasant and it's got a lovely view. Now you probably noticed how quiet that was compared to being on the road. I think there's no comparison really. Yes, anyway, that's the benefits of cycling on the canal on the way to the leisure centre. Now it's not all by cycle path. I do have to come off and cycle partly on the road, but most of it I can do on the canal, which I'm going to do. But anyway, we've gone a bit off topic there. Well, it's kind of related because it's I did do another video on the cycling, the benefits of it, but the two favourite ones I do are the cycling and the swimming. That's all right. Whoa, whoa. Oh, the little dog's getting a bit excited there. Yeah, so some of it I'll have to do on the road, but a lot of it I can do down the canal. And it's so much quieter. It's not all paved though, that's the only problem with it really. It's some of it's pretty bumpy, and it can be a bit uncomfortable unless you've got a kind of a good bike with a decent saddle. Ooh, nice little tunnel there. It can be a bit bumpy and hard going, but it's definitely more scenic. So scenic bike rides, I've got a lot to be said for it. Anyway, we've gone off topic again. I'm talking about cycling when I should be talking about swimming, but they are kind of related. Now the swimming, I do about an hour session. On the Tuesday, I go to two different pools. Both of them are around the same distance from where I live. One of them's for an over 50s, a senior swim they call it, which is the one I go to on Tuesdays. Now the benefits of this one, it's a much smaller pool, but it does have the benefits of a jacuzzi and a steam room, which is included in the price. You get concessions for being over 50 if you go in the week. It's only on Tuesday and Thursday I think it is. No, just Tuesday actually. So I go on the Tuesday anyway. And on the Thursday I go to the bigger pool, which is a bigger leisure centre. It's a much bigger one. You can use the facilities for the steam room and the sauna, but it's extra. So I just go on a Tuesday when it's covered, and on this one I just go. It's a bigger pool, and it's just better to get a good hour's swimming. The reason I've stopped here, I'm going through a gate. It's a bit tight, but as you can see, some nice views. Just at the lock now. But yeah, so I go to this one on the Thursday, which I'm doing now, and do about an hour swim, and I always feel much better for it. Now I have touched on this when I was talking about the cycling. It's not just the physical well-being, it's the mental the mental well-being. So even if you're feeling a bit fed up and things have been getting you down a little bit, I always find if you go swimming, it kind of gets rid of a lot of it. Not all of it, it's a little bit tricky there, you've got to cross the road. Ooh. Bit of a bad design that, really, but there we go, we're back on the path, bit bumpy, but yeah, it's your physical well-being as well as your mental well-being as well as your physical, rather. I always feel better for it, so even if I'm sort of a bit fed up, like I say, once I go swimming, I always feel better for it. And if you go early in the morning, which I do, not really early, but sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock, you feel much better for the rest of the day. So you can think about what you're going to do for the rest of the day. And it's getting that work-life balance, really, which is what I've been trying to do the last few years, since COVID, really. I decided to stop working kind of so hard and just do less. Semi-retired, I suppose. Again, I have made videos on this, what I do for a living. I'm self-employed, so I do have time off in the week in my line of work. I hire out party equipment, which is mainly weekends. So I do have time off in the week, which I use to go swimming. Little dog there playing with his ball. Yeah, so I get time off in the week to do it, and that is why I've kind of maintained it. Now my brother, on the other hand, he works as well, and he works 5 or 6 days a week. He's about the same age as me, and I often tell him he should slow down, but he lives alone and he just says, oh, I haven't got time, I just want to go to work and get out of the house and all that. And he plays golf and stuff, but he won't sort of kind of downscale on his work commitments, really. I think he just likes working, really. But me, on the other hand, I kind of got tired of just working so hard and just never doing anything else. So I decided I was going to slow down. And that's what I did. And also that's when I took up the swimming, really. Well, it was just after COVID I took up the swimming. I went back to work after the lockdown, and I got really busy again. People opened up and everyone was desperate to sort of have parties and stuff, so that the phone was ringing off the hook, actually, so it was good. After having nothing, it went back to that, so I kind of overstretched myself a bit and I got really sort of tired, and I thought, oh, I want to go back to this. Like a lot of people, they kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing, or, you know, try something else, which a lot of people did. So I kind of downscaled anyway and took up the swimming, and I've been doing it ever since. And I enjoy it, I have to say. It's one of the best things I did do, because like I say, you get to know people at the swimming as well. So not only is it good for your mental and your physical well-being, it's kind of quite a social activity. I mean, it's not so much social in the way that it's competitive. I don't do competitive swimming. I think I did enter a few competitions when I was at school. I wasn't, you know, good enough to take it any further, but I did get nominated for my year swimming. That was in my junior years. But anyway, I did it when I was a kid. I went swimming all the time, just like cycling. I always cycled and swam. Did both of them, really enjoyed them. And then I kind of stopped a bit, and now I've kind of, in my senior years, taken it up. So that's my kind of advice, really, for people of our age. If you've been thinking about it, you've got an old rusty bike, you want to dust it off and get out on it, then you should do that. Everyone's very smiley today. It's great to see. Yeah, you should dust it off and get it. Or, like I say, with the swimming, anyone can go. Now, I've met some people there, they're kind of actually older than me. One of them was a guy I knew from previous, and he had some health issues. He was a lot older than me, and well, not a lot older than me, about 15 years older than me, and he had health issues, and he took up swimming just to sort of lose weight, and he started going twice a week. Now, I kind of knew him before, and we sort of hit off a friendship again, and I kind of looked out for him. He used to go twice a week. He had a bit of health problems. I won't go into too much detail, but he had to sort of look after himself. He was told by his doctor if he doesn't stop his lifestyle, he was a bit of a drinker, that he wouldn't be around for much longer. So he did, and he'd given it up for 2 years. Now, I got to know him really well, George, when we used to go swimming. like a number of other people. And then unfortunately, April of this year, he hadn't been going for a while. He'd had some more health problems. I did speak to him on the phone. I'd ring up if he wasn't at the swimming. We would look out and give him a ring. And I found out he'd died. It wasn't related to some of the health problems he did have. It was just something that happened really suddenly. It was very unexpected, which was a bit of a shame, really. So my kind of message I'm trying to get across is, if you've been thinking about doing these things and you always think you haven't got the time, or you're too old and you're not fit enough, you are. And it's never too late to start doing these things. And it's not just your, like I say, your physical and mental well-being, it's quite a social activity as well. Now when we go swimming, we've got to know a group of us. I wouldn't say they're really close friends by any means, but I've got to know them quite well. And if one of them's not there for any reason, we often ask, and somebody that may know them better than we do will sort of say, oh yeah, they're up at the hospital, or they've got to do, you know, such and such a thing, or they're on holiday. It's kind of holiday time at the moment. And to sort of look out for each other, which is a really good thing, I think. It's kind of like kind of looking in on the neighbours, isn't it, really? Seeing how they are and stuff. So that's what that's what we do, really. We kind of look out for each other. Like I said, I don't know them that well, don't socialise with them outside of the swimming, but I've got to know them over the last 2 years. And like I say, George I did know quite well, and it was a shame. I did go to his funeral, met his family. I didn't know his family, but it was a shame, really. He was getting his life back on track, but you never know what's around the corner. So I always think, you know, live in the moment, really. It's never too late, and just, if you keep putting things off, you may never do them, really. It's like everything, isn't it? The more you do, the more benefits you're going to get from it. But anyway, that's my take on the swimming. Ooh. A little bit of a bumpy section there. Now this is the bit where we have to come off the canal and cycle on the road a little bit. It's going to be a bit noisier. Hopefully. Oh, I don't know what that fence is doing there. They've been fixing the tow path, so, which is a good thing. If you can see that. They've done a good job of it as well. There's little sections of it that still haven't been kind of tarmacked or paved, so they're a bit bumpy, but they're getting a lot better, for sure, which I think is the idea. Now, I've got to cycle the rest of the way. It's not too far from here, really, but again, it is on the road, so you have to be careful. It's a lot windier when you come up here as well. It's really quiet and tranquil down by the canals. Right, so we're sort of on the road, but not on the main road, really. I'll come off a little bit, but this bit here is quite hilly. Actually, the traffic's not too bad. I had a bit of a headwind there, and it was a bit noisy, and things blowing about everywhere. We're currently in late August, I suppose you would call it. Well, just over halfway through it, but it feels very autumnal, that's for sure. It's suddenly changed and got very windy and a little bit unsettled, but apparently it's going to settle down again. It's a bit windy. Anyway, the benefits of swimming. Well, there are multiple benefits to it, really. I think we've covered quite a lot of them. I always say to people, if you're thinking about it, just get out and do it, really. There are also a number of activities you can do if swimming or cycling's not your thing. A lot of people play golf. I've never been a real big golf fan, really. I've played it, but not really my thing. That's quite a social activity as well, playing golf. Also squash, tennis. All these sports are doable, but they are quite high impact sports, and they're going to be a lot more demanding on your joints and so on. So I like to keep to the ones that are less stressful, less physically and mentally demanding, I think the word is. It's quite hilly this bit, but as I'm on my bike with the battery, I've just engaged it and it's nice and easy coming up the hill. And like I say, it's quite blustery. I was going to drive today, but they reckon the rain's, well, it's not really raining, it's rained this morning or overnight, but it's stopped now, so I thought I'd take a risk. I can't really make videos about the benefits of cycling and swimming if I don't actually get on my bike and cycle. So I'm cycling to the leisure centre. I do prefer the off-road cycling, I have to say, but it's not always possible wherever you're going, but in this case it is. Traffic isn't too bad at the moment. It's we're in the school holidays. There's actually a bike path there, I just noticed that, I didn't see it before. In fact, I might jump on it. Whoa. No, it's a dedicated bike path, I've not noticed that before. It's a bit bumpy, but I've not seen that before. That's quite a busy section of road there, really. I think that's the problem with cycling for a lot of people is the actual traffic, the volume of traffic, particularly if you haven't cycled for a number of years. It can be a bit worrying, really, getting back on it. But they are improving the infrastructure, really, cycle lanes and stuff, and you've got shared paths now as well in a lot of places, which I think this is here. They've got the sign up. So cyclists and pedestrians can use this section, but I'm going to go back on the road here. We're coming up to the leisure centre now anyway. It's quite busy by the look of it. In fact, it's very busy. Right. That's us. We're at the leisure centre. So I'll have to have my swim, come out, and then maybe we'll have another little chat. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.